guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you are most definitely welcome, and if you've been coming back for quite some time, thank you for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Guys, today I'm going to do a video about single parenting. What is single parenting and what factors surround single parenting? Girl, I'm telling you, I can sit here and talk about single parenting for an hour, but I'm not going to do that because I know you got a life, okay? As much as I have a life. So I'm only going to look at 4 factors. I'm going to look at stigma, I'm going to look at blame, I'm going to look at guilt, and I'm going to look at good old loneliness. Sing a song in my native language. I'm so passionate about my culture, okay? Everything I do, I feel like I have to put a bit of my culture in there, otherwise it's not complete. Waiting upon the well by Bakati where they way by no word Kathi Kenyan Maninong ye. Waiting upon the well by Bakati where they way by no word Kathi Kenyan Maninong ye. Waiting upon the well by Bakati where they way by no word Kathi Kenyan Maninong ye. Anong kichiro watch kiting the jal kachak be by ping. Kujo nyaret kuancha yura nerin kinire bai na chaka yen weng wechi yen cha bire gana chi jai no wet kdo ka yaw de no magali na chaka wach weng chi yara gongama cha bire gana chi jai no wet kdo ka yaw de no magali na chaka yen weng wechi yen cha bire gana chi jai no wet kdo ka yaw de no magali. Wachana look at I come lungi aware and akubarandoi good. Wachana look at I lungi aware and akubarandoi good. Kiena wonyin chica bijaila. Jana look anyo chekone golwena lwemba. Ne chijala kujanyu chibanim. Chiban kwalwela tiginya. I got a thought ya watch a kell with a become teacher Monday. I tell him when teacher go gum. Achagamber kalwenti alwele mamoja jami hinting de kwam kalukai wel katurulwen ningi chano ni yanting de win kujan gera bagera nyara na dala iyal ya vela o dal moji indine kujan gera bagera nyara na dala iyal ya vela o dal moji indine. All right, those 2 songs, if you understand Dinka, they pretty much sum up my topic today, okay? So let's get straight into it. So what is single parent? Somebody who lives with a child or children without their significant other, without their partner, okay? That's what it is. And being a single parent can happen for a number of reasons, okay? For me, what I'm very familiar with, because I'm South Sudanese, a lot of our moms, our parents raised us by themselves simply because our fathers were busy in war, serving duties to give us the freedom that we have today. However, the dynamic has changed now as we've moved to the West, and we have become, obviously, we become mothers, and we're making different choices where we're not tolerating a lot of certain behaviors. So anyway, so reason people become single parent can vary very much, and it's very complex. Like I said, it could simply be because you've broken up with your partner. It could be because you are divorced, or it could be because your partner has died. It could be a factor such as rejection, and just to be abandoned, like abandonment and stuff like that. Those, and also people that would make a choice to choose to be a single parent. And when I say choice, it simply means that a woman might be financially stable and they want to have a child, but they don't want to have to go through the hassle of being with a man or having to live with someone. So they would just adopt a child. They can adopt a child and raise the child by themselves, and vice versa. The guys can also do this stuff, can also do the thing where they can adopt a child as well. And some women can just literally go and get a sperm donor, literally in a jar, get a sperm donor, have a child, and choose to raise the child alone. So those factors are there. Today, I will discuss the notion of being a single parent, in particular single moms. But again, don't get me wrong. I'll probably talk both parents too, because it's just that I'm not very familiar with a lot of single fathers. But I will maybe try and be fair and talk about everybody. So what is stigma? I suppose stigma is a mark or a disgrace that is associated with an event, or it's associated with a circumstance or a person. In this case, single parenting is associated with many things, especially in my community, the South Sudanese community. If you are a single mom, it literally, people will look at you like, you know what, it could be a poor upbringing, it could be that she is irresponsible, she might be promiscuous, she might resilient woman, by giving up the fight of being with someone. So those are a few things that surround single parenting in our South Sudanese context. Now, this varies. It might vary in other communities where it's different, but I don't think it's just South Sudanese. I think it's also African communities at large. If you become a single parent, it's almost like you are not a part of the community anymore, and people frown upon you, and people are very quick to judge you, and they don't even give you a chance or to understand your situation. Nobody wants to hear your story, but there's many people that are willing to throw in the 5 cents opinion about why you are a single parent, and those factors can have a very negative effect on the single parent, in particular because you're trying to focus on doing a good job as a parent, and here you are having to cope with the whole community saying stuff to you. So my advice to you would be, when you are trying to raise your children at the best ability that you can, and there are people there that are trying to pull you down, you need to put up some barriers. You literally need to put up some barriers and block them out. This is how I survived being a single parent. I had to put barriers up. I had to know when to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not hearing it. I'm not taking it from nobody. And with those barriers up, it helped me focus on my main job, which was to be a good mom. Okay? So that's my advice to you. So if you're a single mom struggling, and there's a lot of stigma in your community, and people are looking at you like you've just taken a shit and walking around unclean, do not pay attention to them. You're not the problem, they are the problem. So do not look at them. You are not the problem, they are the problem. They don't know your situation, but yet they're judging you. We can actually judge here. They're the problem, not you. That's point number 1. The other thing that I'll look at would be, I suppose, guilt. When you become a single parent, for whatever reason, you have a sense of guilt. So I suppose, could we say, what is guilt? Guilt could be when you feel like you're not doing enough. There's a sense of guilt in you. For example, you might feel guilty that your children might not be doing a particular activity that you love for them to do, but because you don't have the time, you can't cut yourself in half to be everywhere at the same time, you might just say to them, hey guys, I'm sorry, you can't participate in football this season because I need to work to provide roof, right? To have the roof over your head. So you might feel guilty that you're not doing enough. Even if you're working your ass off, sometimes it kind of cripples in you, and you feel like oh my God, I'm not doing enough for my kids. Darling, handsome, if you're a guy, it's not your fault. You just don't have enough. There's not enough hours in the day to be a superhuman and do super things. So if you feel like you're feeling guilty because you can't do certain things, you just need to let it go and accept that this is your reality. And stop feeling too guilty, because then once you start to feel guilty, it would drive you into the next topic that I was going to talk about, which is the blame. And so my advice, if you're feeling guilty over things that you can't provide enough, just know once you start to think like that, you are pretty much doing enough for your children. So as soon as you start to feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm not doing enough for my kids, you're doing your best. So please do not ever doubt yourself. Just stay focused and do the little that you can, as long as you do it well. The other thing that I like to talk about would obviously be the blame game, because the blame game, girl, this is a setup. When you start to blame, you never stop. It was them, it was him, it was who, it was her. This is where you really get confused emotionally. Your emotions can really build very, very high simply because you're trying to find a reason to blame something or someone. The blame doesn't have to be outside of yourself. Sometimes the blame can be you. So some people, single parent would be, for example, blame themselves for making a decision to have children with someone. Like, why did I choose that dick? Of all the people in the world, I chose a dickhead. What was I thinking? Why did I choose that man? Or why did I choose that girl? You know what I mean? Like, and you start to blame yourself. Like, why did I make that decision? What was wrong with me? You know, like, it's my fault that I chose this guy and I had children with him, and now my children will have to struggle and grow up without a father, okay? You blame yourself. If your child is unhappy or to do something wrong, you blame yourself. Oh my God, if I didn't leave this guy, my child would not be behaving the way they're behaving today. So this sort of feeling, this sort of emotions can be really negative in terms of your well-being and how you operate as a single parent and how you can provide for your kids. Because if you spend a majority of your time thinking of reason to blame on yourself or anything that goes wrong, you take a blame and you find people to point fingers at, you will never move forward. You literally become a prisoner in your own mind, in your own self, and you become a victim. And when you are a victim and you have a victim mindset, it will take years and years to dissolve that negativity. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that when there is something that is not right, do not blame. You need to reflect and really think very deep inside you. What is it that I did that got me to that position? And you know what? I did what I did and I thought it was the best thing I could do at that time. But now I am better. I have grown. I am more mature. I am stronger. I am moving forward. And you let go of everything. This is the only way you can find happiness and the strength to continue doing things that you do for your children. That is one thing I would like to advise whoever might be going through that blame. When you blame yourself for everything going wrong, like sometimes it feels like the walls are closing up on you and you feel like you are literally alone. There's no one there to listen to you. It can really be overwhelming, and then you start to blame yourself. And you know what? Things like blame can also lead to maybe a bit more serious issues like depression. And I suppose you could also say guilt, because guilt and blame, they're kind of like intertwined, don't they? So you need to make sure that you avoid having too much of every feeling. Have enough, okay? Question yourself, reflect. Reflection is amazing because with reflection you grow, but do not spend a lot of time. Don't invest so much time feeling guilty, feeling like you're blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong, because then you become a victim, and you don't want to be a victim. You want to make sure that you are free from it all because you've made the move. You should be proud of yourself and give yourself a pat on the back every time you think about where you are, because you've literally made the move to leave whoever you had to leave, okay? You've left them. Now you're starting your life. There is no one stopping you. You are in control of your life. So, girls, gentlemen, the ball is in your hand. How you roll it is your call. The other one that is actually pretty weird, because as a single parent, you think you would not have time to be lonely, but loneliness is a huge factor that a lot of single parents experience, because once you've gone and you've done everything for the day, you've gone to work, you've come home, you've picked up the kids from school, you've fed them, you've helped them with their homework, you've bathed them, you put them to sleep, and then it's time for you. A majority of the time, us single parents spend our time feeling guilty why I'm sitting there. Like right now, this is my me time, okay? I'm enjoying this time. I'm relaxing, I'm flexing, I'm good because, you know, I smell some beautiful candle. I'm doing a YouTube video for you guys. My daughter's sleeping. There's some calm and something about just peaceful, okay? I'm not lonely, but there were times where I would have been super lonely, because I would feel like, oh my God, when I go to bed, so sometimes you just want human contact, okay? You just want somebody to give you a hug or to give you a kiss, or a grown-up conversation, okay? Like a really nice adult conversation. You miss that as a single parent, because the majority of the time you spend your time talking to your children, and you know what that can do to your brain, okay? So if you do feel lonely, you might have to start picking up some habits of what to do at home. And that would be simple things like reading a book. Sometimes you can really get into your book that you feel like you are a part of, you know, like you follow the characters and you get lost in that world of the book that you're reading. So maybe read a book, watch your favorite program. And I know that you're going to miss, you're still going to feel lonely, okay? You just can't shake the feeling off of being lonely. But your time will come when you meet someone nice, a man that is loving, a woman that is loving, somebody who respects you, somebody who would worship you, somebody who would see you and value you for who you are without judging you, whether you have children or you don't have children. That is the kind of person you want, and it's coming. It's just a matter of time before they come. So that is my advice to you. Just be patient and just do you until the right person come along for you. And last but not least, the way I overcame my struggle as a single parent was to be grateful. So gratitude served me a lot. I think what happened is when you struggle, when you go through so much, you have to come to your senses that there is no one else out there that's going to help you but yourself, and you have to be happy with what you have. So the very little that you have to appreciate it. So if you got a roof over your head, be grateful that you got a roof over your head. If you've got healthy kids, be grateful for the healthy kids. If you've got, you're still healthy, just be grateful for that. For me, I became so grateful for the tiniest little thing. Like, I'll literally be smiling all day. People would think there's something amazing in my life. Girl, I'm telling you, I was fighting those demons, okay? I was struggling. But I started to pick on the little thing that not many people pick on, and I was grateful for it. And that gave me a sense of sanity. I started to feel okay. I wasn't stressed. I didn't have anxiety. I didn't have depression, because I've noticed the little thing that many people are not noticing. And I'm like, you know what? It could be worse. I could have been in Africa with 10 kids, living in some village with no roof over my head, or maybe there's a tiny little hut that I'll be living in, no electricity. I probably wouldn't be able to read. Girl, I remind myself that I'm grateful. I am so grateful to my dear Creator for me to be where I am today and to be the woman that I am. So always be grateful. Anyhow, guys, if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, please leave some comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like to see some more videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Out.